Welcome to this final presentation in the Light Body and DNA Activation Summit series. This is Purifying with the Violet Flame, the Hooponopono, and the Seed of Life. Out of all the interviews that I've done over the decades of doing quantum conversations and mastery empowerment courses, I've learned a few really helpful tools that release us from density, that help us purify all negative feelings, doubt, unworthiness, anger, frustration, betrayal. And so I'm going to share 3 tools and 3 meditations that you can use in your life. These are more of a foundation that allow you to elevate more into your light body. And as we move into that light body, as we release the density, then our unconditional love comes online. As humans, we definitely are returning to love. As we incarnated in this lifetime, I remember raising my hand high and long, saying, I can do that. And so what can we do? The lesson was to return to love. Can we return to love through all frequencies and vibrations? And yes, we can. So these tools are 3 very powerful tools, very simple tools that you can use in your life too. And you can share them with others. You can share them with your family, for those who look at you and see how you are able to transmute negativity and density. And you can be that shining example of how they can use these tools in their life as we all come on to light body. As we are in a space of love, the love vibration that we hold in our heart actually upgrades our DNA. It changes our DNA, and it opens up the junk DNA or the multidimensional DNA that is all part of our 12 strands of DNA. And as we've heard from this summit, there's even more 12 strands, but we're going to focus just on those 12 strands of the crystalline solar DNA. Let me first start by sharing more on these 3 tools: the violet flame, the Hooponopono, and the seed of life. The violet flame literally jumped out at me in 2005. I had found my soul family on the Lemurian email list, where I found my soul family. I had printed out this violet flame reading and stuck it on my dresser. And one day I was going through an interesting situation. In my own life, there was density that I was working through, and I was in my bedroom, and this paper literally fell off the dresser and in front of my feet. I picked it up and I looked at it and I reread it. And that time I got it. And I realized this is powerful. The violet flame transmutes negativity. And there is a meditation that takes you through a daily process where we can look back at our day and we can see where we have circumstances, relations, conversations, episodes with other people that were less than love. And so the violet flame can be used through all of it. Saint Germain is the holder of the violet flame. There are many other spiritual teachers that work with it. Kuan Yin will also work with the violet flame, and countless others. Even Patricia Diane Kotal-Robles has the new violet flame with tones of lavender in it. That's available on her website, eraofpeace.org. And that is another beautiful tool that can be in your physical space. Hang it on your wall, be in its vibration. It is wonderful, and it's very transformational. So the violet flame is wonderful. At the end of this talk, I will have all three of those meditations available for you. And we'll also go into Patricia Diane's meditation that she did in the beginning of this summit. She talked about the vortices within, the elemental vortices within our bodies that we can spin and activate. And so we're going to hear that one again as well. The next thing I want to talk about is the Hooponopono. The Hooponopono is the forgiveness prayer. And many of us who have been on this path already know the Hooponopono, the four beautiful phrases: thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me. They can be said in any order, at any time. Thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I'm sorry, thank you, forgive me, thank you, forgive me, I love you, I'm sorry. There's much reading that you can go and do on the Ho'oponopono. And there have been incidences that have revealed how powerful it is. But what I'm suggesting to you in your life is to begin to weave those words, those phrases into interactions with people that you interact with in the day, especially the ones that you love and care about, and even strangers that may have a misunderstanding with you and your actions. I have to share a few stories about the miracles that happen with the Ho'oponopono. The miracles that happen with the Ho'oponopono have revealed to me the truth of what it is. They literally dispel any anger, any frustration, any disagreements, and it brings us all back into our love state. Those four simple phrases. I'll share one story here where the Ho'oponopono was really profound in my life. And then I began taking note of it. I began weaving my words in phrases to people I would meet or share. It began in an email, it began in a physical conversation. And I just witnessed over and over how beautiful it was in dissolving the energy. One of the most dramatic or powerful or profound experiences that I had with the Ho'oponopono was in my own life. There was someone that I love very deeply, and there was feelings of betrayal that had come up in this relationship. And in the thick of it, when emotions were really high, like so high, there was no more conversation. Both of us had left the room, went our own separate ways, and the anger just boiled up, boiled up, boiled up. And then I heard my higher self say the Ho'oponopono. Very clearly, say the Ho'oponopono. And I was like, wait a minute, why am I going to say I'm sorry? I didn't do anything wrong. Why do I have to say I'm sorry? And then I kept hearing my higher self say the Ho'oponopono. And so in a text message, I took my phone and I Ho'oponopono. I wrote those four phrases. Absolutely, just those four phrases, nothing more. Thank you. Or first, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. But at first, before I could write that, my ego self was like, wait a minute. Why me? I'm not sorry. But I did it anyway, following the guidance of my higher self. And immediately after I sent that text with those four beautiful phrases, the energy in this relationship that I'm referring to immediately turned not 180 degrees, 360 degrees. That's how different it was. And so because of that, because I was able to say those four simple phrases, communication was opened. Discussion could ensue about how we were both feeling and where these feelings of betrayal had come up. That was profound to me, because without using the Hooponopono, I could have just stewed in my anger. And both of us, both parties involved, could have just let this go on and on. And we could have spent days, we could have spent weeks, we could have spent years, we could have spent decades harboring this ill attitude towards each other. Those words allowed the doorway of communication to open and the waters of love to flow again. And then there's countless other instances where I began to take note of using the Ho'oponopono. I did it with a neighbor who I never really knew that well. And somehow, because a dog was barking and that was frustrating me, I went over to the house. She had a house sitter at the time. And I asked the house sitter, what can we do to make that dog happy? And I was trying to politely encourage something to do with the dog, bring the dog inside, don't let it sit outside and bark endlessly. And so I could tell after a day or so that that didn't go over too well. That did not go over too well at all. And so my neighbor returned from her trip and I mentioned it to her and said, I'm so sorry. I had an issue with the dog barking and I hope everything's okay. And I could tell by her reply back that she was a little perturbed with me. Well, in that email, then I said, I'm so sorry. I wove my words. I'm sorry if I caused any frustration. Forgive me for intruding. Thank you for understanding. I love having you as a neighbor. And in between those words, I spoke about the dog barking and I stood my ground in a polite and truthful, honest way. What happened next was I got back a long email that I learned more about this beautiful neighbor than I had ever learned in the 8 years living next to her. That she opened up those words, the Ho'oponopono, woven in discord, trying to overcome discord. Those words opened her heart up. Amazing, really amazing. And we talked like we've never talked before. So it's hard to really express the power of the Ho'oponopono by my stories. I've got many, many, many of them. But I want you to experience the Ho'oponopono in your own life and to use it in your own life. I've even helped other couples in their relationships use this when they have disagreements, frustrations, and they too witness a dissolving of the negative attitudes. And that to me is the true power of the Ho'oponopono. Use the Ho'oponopono. We can use it in our meditation. We can use the Ho'oponopono for ourselves. We can use in meditation the Ho'oponopono to groups of people. We can use the Ho'oponopono for our politicians. We can use the Ho'oponopono for every situation. I particularly like the Ho'oponopono for ourselves. Loving ourselves, forgiving ourselves so deeply, being in gratitude for ourselves is so huge. But then also when we can speak it, physically speak it in our world, then we'll see great shifts as well. One last story on the Ho'oponopono. After the pandemic, tensions in the collective were frustrated, but at the same time, people were standing their ground, speaking up for themselves a little bit more because their health was at issue. And so for some who would never speak up earlier with what happened in the pandemic, not to go too far into it, but we can Ho'oponopono that as well. What went on in the pandemic was I saw people standing up and saying things respecting their own space, and maybe in a space that they wouldn't have done earlier. So the story with this one that I love to share, and this was one time out of all the times of the Hooponopono that I didn't think it worked, but now I know it worked. It was in unseen ways to me. I was driving in my car. It was a convertible. Maybe that has judgment that people put on people, especially in a pandemic. I felt very strange about that. I felt guilty driving around in my convertible in a pandemic. Why did I feel guilty? I don't know. I felt guilty. And I was coming up to my favorite park to go play tennis. And there was a biker that I was driving, a bicyclist on the side of the road that I was respectful of. I was staying behind this biker for a long ways. But then I had had enough. I said, I'm going to pass this biker. So I passed the biker, and there comes my turn. So I'm making a turn into the park that I'm going into. And this biker was making the turn as well. So I stayed behind. And then finally, after we both made the turn, I went around her, and that made her so angry that we both pulled into the parking lot, and she jumps off her bike and is yelling at me, like screaming loud. And all I could do was invoke the Ho'oponopono. Something inside me in a knee-jerk reaction was like, I could have gone up to her. I could have said, what? You know that, you know the rest. I could have gone the negative route, but my higher self again tapped me on my shoulder and said in this ear, Ho'oponopono. And I looked at this beautiful soul and said, I am so sorry. Forgive me. I did not know that I cut you off. I did not cut you off. I don't believe that I cut you off. Thank you. Thank you for understanding. I love you. I did say that. She went into the little outhouse. That's where she got off her bike. And she took a photo. Then she came out of the outhouse and took her phone and was taking a photo of me. And I was still standing next to my car. And I continued to say, again, I am so sorry. I really don't think I cut you off. Forgive me. Thank you. And I think I wove in, I love you one more time. That's the powerful word. And I walked on to go play my tennis match, and it bothered me. I really had to continue clearing energy from me. And then I began to think, wow, she could post to online platforms. She could send it to the police department. She took a photo of my car. She said when she was taking a photo that, watch out, right? Well, because of the Ho'oponopono, that was my first witness of it not working exactly in that moment. But then maybe it didn't work in that moment, but it worked in the ethers around that beautiful soul. Nothing ever came of the photos that she took. Nothing ever negatively reflected from that incident in the public view. And that was the Ho'oponopono doing its magic, because she had time to reflect on those words that I was offering her. I was standing in a ground, in a space of love with the Ho'oponopono, not arguing, letting her give her frustrations and vent on me. But it was another magical moment of the Ho'oponopono. And so this is where we as light workers can use this in every aspect of our life. I encourage you to take this aspect of the Ho'oponopono, weave your words, put it in writing, in all disagreements, in every situation, with your children, with your friends, with your loved ones, with your partners, with your relatives, with your in-laws, and weave those words of love. They're from the kahunas of Hawaii. Hawaii is ancient Lemuria, and there's magic there. So use it and notice the shifts into love when we use the Ho'oponopono. And finally, I want to talk about the seed of life. The seed of life. If we were to take a strand of our DNA and cut it and look at it from the top view down, we will see the seed of life. And so we're going to do a meditation with the seed of life, where we are going to clear this timeline, this incarnation of all negativity, and go back to the first cells of our body. The first cells of our body, as they reproduce, replicate, the first cells of our body begin with the heart. And the first cells of the heart are reproduced into the seed of life. So the meditation that we're going to do is so beautiful that I hope that you use it. I'm offering this as a bonus gift, a separate extraction of these 3 meditations so that you can use these tools in your life. They're absolutely free of charge as my gift to you because they work. And they are tools that assist us in releasing density so that the light body can come online, so that we can increase our gifts, our clairs, embody our higher self, and be that love that we incarnated to be. So be sure to download these 3 meditations and use them in your life. And then as we close, we're going to bring Patricia Diane's beautiful meditation again for the elemental vortices in our body, and spin those again and elevate, elevate, elevate into love once more. And then finally, I'm going to leave you with Dreaming New Earth. This meditation goes back to when the earth was forming. And we are now going to form new earth with our love. And I hope you enjoy these programs. Thank you for watching this Light Body Summit series. You are a new earth leader, and you are here to share your teachings with the world. If I can facilitate your higher self embodiment in any way, please let me know. I use the WellPoint hypnosis system with clients to connect to the higher self. Every session will have you talking with your higher self. Your higher self will be talking to you in every hypnosis session that we facilitate. So if you've ever wanted to hear the voice of your higher self, hear the words of your higher self, to have your higher self show you a past life or another life, a future life, a parallel life, an off-planet life, that is what these hypnosis sessions do. They're beautiful, they're magical, and once you hear that voice of your higher self, there's no turning back. It is that voice of the higher self that I heard in the meditation. It is the voice of the higher self that I heard in my own WellPoint hypnosis session that allowed me to hear that voice when I was in that episode of betrayal. And that higher self voice reminded me about the power of the Hooponopono. And so if you are ready to hear your higher self voice, please join me in a hypnosis session. We call it hypnosis, but it really is a major relaxing session where your body becomes extremely relaxed. You're shown a lifetime based on the questions that you arrive to the session with, the questions that you have in your life that you want answers for. When you ask those questions, you show up to a session, you talk about that, then we go into a relaxation episode, and you're shown a past life or another life that your higher self wants you to know because it relates to the questions that you have. And then We always culminate the session with a higher self message. Your higher self will answer questions that I have for it about your questions. You're given a mantra, you're given instruction, you're given encouragement. And it's, again, so beautiful. And every session is so unique that I can't be more excited to share this with the world and have everyone learn how to do these sessions, hypnosis sessions. You can learn from WellPoint Hypnosis, or there's so many other. Dolores Cannon has beautiful sessions as well. You will never go back to who you were after you hear your voice of your higher self. So again, if I can help you with that, please join us. And you can register for a hypnosis session. The link for that is right here on this webpage. So now I'm going to leave you with these meditations. And I invite you to radiate more of your light. As a light worker, if you're ready to step up into your game, contact me and let's be game players together. Be a part of New Earth One Network. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. As we begin, we close our eyes and take a deep breath in and exhale long and slow. Take a couple more deep breaths in with the exhale longer than the inhale. This is naturally calibrating our brain in sync with our heart, bringing us to inner coherence. At this moment, you may also place your hand on your heart and bring all of your awareness into the zone of your heart. This is the engine of love. So from this beautiful, sacred, safe space, as you continue with your breath, take a moment and reflect back on your day. Look at the relationships, the people you've encountered, the situations you encountered, the way you handled situations. And for anything that doesn't feel completely aligned, meaning in love, from the heart of love, this is where you bring in the violet flame. If there was any situation, any interaction that was less than love in the way that you sense it, blaze, blaze, blaze the violet fire now. This is a beautiful flame of transmutation. This flame is dissolving all discourse, all dissent, all disagreement, and balancing all parties into alignment of love. Keep scanning your day. Spend as long as you need, blazing the violet flame around any and every situation that was less than love. Notice how you're feeling a release of dense energy, a dissolving of dense energy. This is the violet flame transmuting negativity, dense energy into the light. All we have to do is blaze the violet fire. See it in a spiral starting at the Earth Star chakra between your feet. And as it spirals, it grows wider as it spirals upward around all of your body. Visualize this violet fire spinning in either direction around your entire body. See that spiral elevating upwards until your entire body is encompassed in violet fire. Also, the situation or the circumstances that you witnessed in this day that were less than love can also be within this spiral of violet flame. Take a moment now and hold that vision of what was less than love and see it encompassed in the spiral of the violet flame. Blazing the violet fire. Noticing the new energies from this transformation. Continue visualizing the violet flame as long as you need to. You may move to other situations in your day, other circumstances, other interactions, and blaze that violet flame in the spiral and witness the transformation. And now we invoke the forgiveness prayer of the Hooponopono, and we surround all situations, all experiences, all interactions with the loving words of the phrases of the Hooponopono. In your mind's eye, hold the situation, hold the people, hold the person, hold the experience in the forefront, and repeat these words in any order. I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. I love you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. Forgive me. I love you. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Repeat these words and weave them into the dialogue of your daily life, and witness the profound shifts and the return to love. In this meditation, we will journey to the birth of our physical form. We'll start at the creation of the very first cell, so that we may cleanse any early programming that no longer serves us as we move into the fifth dimensional experience and beyond. These early programs that occurred within the womb and during the birthing process, and even in the first few hours of our physical birth, these programs have influenced us, and today, even as adults, we are still following the programs
and distorted patterns, and we seek to free ourselves into the higher realms and higher vibrational aspects of ourselves. Close your eyes and focus on the breath. Allow this breath to be free and calm and relaxed. We breathe in free and deep, and we let it go like the bow on an arrow, gently letting that belly rise back up inward on every exhale. Two more deep breaths. Now we are coming inward to the still point. Today we will focus on our sacred heart. To assist you in visualizing this important point on your chakra system, you can place a hand on your heart and hold it gently there, also holding your attention in this heart center. With your eyes closed and your breath still free and deep, allow yourself to come into this center, into the center of your core, in the sacred heart. The sacred heart is a special chamber within the heart that is most sacred and a portal to higher dimensions. Feel yourself at the center of this sacred heart. As you continue with these meditations, you can come back and build a beautiful temple of your sacred heart, imagining each time the material the temple is made of, and seeing inside an altar to you and an altar to each heart that you've ever touched in your life. Come back to center in your sacred heart. Now we are journeying back through time. Start with your current physical age and move backward in time, moving past the most recent decade, noticing any areas and kinks of challenges and troubles. Breathe, inhaling and exhaling through each of the challenge. It may help you to use the violet flame. On your inhalation, breathing in unconditional love. Exhaling and visualizing the violet flame, transmuting all discord. Now continue backward a few more years in this decade. From here, we will move quickly through the decades or the years and time segments until you get to a toddler. So moving from your current age here, back through the timeline, breathing in unconditional love, exhaling the violet flame. Moving into your childhood, noticing all the happiness as well as the discord. You may wish to stop anywhere along this timeline, from this child to even younger as an infant. Most are not aware of this time before the 3 years of age. However, our higher self and soul is always connected to this memory. So as we are connected with our higher self, we have access to the information, especially since we are in our sacred heart. Holding this timeline in your mind, in your sacred heart, feel into any areas of discord, not mindful or using imagination too much, just looking for any images that might arise, positive or negative. And now we are moving into the womb. The 9 months we spent in this space, listening to our mother's heartbeat, experiencing the chemicals and emotions in her body, in our body, just the same. And now we are moving back into the earliest form of this development. From the embryo to the zygote, to the first few cells that formed the organs, all the way back to a single point of light. This single point of light is in the center of your sacred heart. This is a portal connected to higher dimensions, multiple dimensions, which exist all around and are part of the one source, the all that is, creator source. From this light in your sacred heart, we will now move to the same sacred geometric pattern as the developments of the very first cells of our physical bodies did. And this is in the form of the seed of life. This one single point of light within your sacred heart now splits into two. And as it begins to move away and separate, you will see the Vesica Piscis, a creative field and the eye of all that is. Spend time in this creative energy, holding the Vesica Piscis in your mind just before these two cells separate. They are always linked. And this Vesica Pisces is the bond between each cell. Next, see a third sphere develop. A third cell develops. And it too has a Vesica Pisces between the first cell and the second cell. Feeling this divine trine, give yourself the self-love that you intended to bring forward into this life in physical form that you chose the circumstances to before this incarnation began. This triangle of 3 spheres is bringing down and bringing into itself the energy of the cosmos. Next, the 4th cell begins to form. Feel this and breathe love into it. Our purpose in life is self-love. In service to the infinite Creator. Now the 5th cell forms. And now the 6th cell forms. And from a 2-dimensional aspect, this is the seed of life, the sacred geometric form. From which you began your physical form, emanating your radiance. Feel the power of this 6-sphere form that will later go on to form your sacred heart and your heart and the rest of your physical form. Bask in this power. Feel the energy circulating, using your breath, breathing in and out as you hold this form in your mind and in your heart's mind. Take a round of 3 inhales and exhales and experience this energy. From here, your physical incarnation continues as the cells continue to divide and grow. As organs begin to develop and your physical form begins to grow into the human embryo, you continue to give yourself unconditional love. See yourself now as a baby within the womb, growing in every moment, enjoying the comfort of this liquid world. In between the realms of the incarnate here is where you make a conscious choice to repair any damage to your emotions or any programs and false belief systems that were transmuted to you during this time. Whatever your mother and father were experiencing during this time that was anything but the great light and love there is, now is the time to transmute this. So with your imagination and the love you have for yourself, create this new incarnation from here with love, and watch yourself growing into a full-term baby ready to come into this earth plane. The love you carry is unstoppable. The love you carry cannot be tarnished. The love you carry will radiate around the world and assist others in raising their vibration too. This self-love is why you are here. This will guide you to your passions and joys and create heaven on earth. Now it's time for the birthing process, where you will journey into this physical realm. And unlike what may be your reality so far in this physical world, now is the time to self-nurture yourself into this realm from this first point, breathing the air of earth. Your mother is in a very comfortable and natural position, either kneeling or squatting, and she is in a warm bath of water. This is so comfortable for both of you that your passing through the birth canal is one of ease and grace, with such love. Now in this zone, you will be with your mother, who is gently cradling you to her breast. You are feeling her heartbeat, remembering this warm, loving, nurturing environment that you're so used to, that you just came from within. This is where you feed this beautiful baby with all of your self-love, preparing this beautiful baby to stand as an empowered human being on earth. Now you will spend the next few moments in this wonderful space of self-nurturing with the energy of how your first physical form came into creation through the seed of life and unconditional love. Use your breath, breathing in and breathing out, peace and love, empowering your person to be fortified in this physical world that you are now a master of. This self-love that you give yourself is your mastery. You may wish to linger here for as long as you want. If you fall asleep afterwards, that is beautiful. Remember this connection from your higher self into your physical form, and breathe into it in every moment. And now, as I leave you in this nurturing space of self-love, I bid you namaste. The divine in me recognizes and honors the divine in you.
So just breathe in deeply and go within to the divinity of your heart flame. Listen to these words, knowing your I am presence is taking full dominion of your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings, and your physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. The divine intelligence within your earthly bodies is your body elemental, and the being associated with the elemental kingdom that is holding the immaculate concept for this transfiguration, and the transfiguration from carbon-based to your crystalline solar light bodies, is your silent watcher. We have entered the gateway of the September equinox for 2023. The equinox reflects the still point between day and night, light and dark, and the in-breath and out-breath of our Father, Mother God. we are being assured by the company of heaven that this equinox is initiating a new day on planet Earth. Through the unified efforts of heaven and earth, we will help every person's I am presence to utilize the light flowing through the equinox gateway in new ways that will recalibrate our emotional vortices, our etheric vortices, the fire vortices, the water vortices, and the earth vortices, to the highest fifth dimensional crystalline frequencies of light that cosmic law will allow. This activity of light will be stated in the first person so that we will each experience it personally, but know that we are invoking this light through the I am presence of every person on earth in perfect alignment with his or her divine plan and the highest good for all concerned. If you have the heart call to participate in this powerful opportunity, please join with me and lightworkers around the world now. And we begin. I am empowering and recalibrating within my elemental vortices the brand new fifth dimensional crystalline solar frequencies of light that are now flowing through the portal of the equinox gateway. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth. Collectively, humanity's I am presences now merge into one luminous, multi-dimensional being of light that is cradling Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her within the divinity of our unified heart flames. Humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth are now breathing in unison with me as one elevated holy breath. I am one with my Father, Mother God. I am one with the solar logos from suns beyond suns. I am one with the legions of light throughout infinity. I am one with the mighty Elohim, the silent watchers, the directors of the elements, and all of the beings associated with the elemental kingdom, including my own body elemental. With every breath I take, I accept and know that the light of God is exponentially expanding within the hearts and minds of all humanity. Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her are now ascending into new celestial and cosmic coordinates. Earth's adjusted position in the universe is now allowing humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth to receive higher and higher solar light codes through the portal of the equinox gateway. With the divine intervention of the entire company of heaven now gathered in the atmosphere of earth, I now invoke from the very core of creation the most intensified frequencies of fifth dimensional crystalline solar light that humanity and the earth are capable of receiving into our elemental vortices at this time. I realize that my holy breath is a key factor in unifying the spectrums of living light throughout the whole of creation. As I breathe in and out deeply, I attune myself to the rhythm of the universe. I am one with the heartbeat of my Father, Mother, God. I am one with the breath of the Holy Spirit. I am one with every particle and wave of life in the body of God, which is the all-encompassing divine matrix. Now, as I continue breathing deeply and rhythmically, I begin to clearly see the elemental vortices pulsating within my earthly bodies. These centers are swirling vortices of divine light. They are shining like the sun. There are 5 vortices. Each one is specifically designed to nourish, refresh, and rejuvenate one of the 5 elements within my earthly bodies. First, I focus my attention on my ether vortex, which is pulsating above my head. I put the full power of my concentration on this spinning vortex of light. I breathe the breath of the Holy Spirit into the center of my ether vortex. It is now expanding and blazing like the sun. I affirm with deep feeling, I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. My ether vortex is now recalibrated to the highest 5th dimensional crystalline frequencies of solar light that cosmic law will allow. I now focus the full power of my attention on my air vortex, which is pulsating in the area of my throat. I breathe the breath of the Holy Spirit into the center of my air vortex. It is now expanding and blazing like the sun. I affirm with deep feeling, I am the breath of the Holy Spirit. I am the breath of the Holy Spirit. I am the breath of the Holy Spirit. My air vortex is now recalibrated to the highest 5th dimensional crystalline frequencies of solar light that cosmic law will allow. I now focus the full power of my attention on my fire vortex, which is pulsating within the location of my sternum in the center of my chest. I breathe the breath of the Holy Spirit into the center of my fire vortex. It is now expanding and blazing like the sun. I affirm with deep feeling, I am the sacred fire breath of the Almighty. I am the sacred fire breath of the Almighty. I am the sacred fire breath of the Almighty. My fire vortex is now recalibrated to the highest fifth dimensional crystalline frequencies of solar light that cosmic law will allow. I now focus the full power of my attention on my water vortex, which is pulsating at the base of my spine. I breathe the breath of the Holy Spirit into the center of my water vortex. It is now expanding and blazing like the sun. I affirm with deep feeling, I am the harmony of my true being. I am the harmony of my true being. I am the harmony of my true being. My water vortex is now recalibrated to the highest fifth dimensional crystalline frequencies of solar light that cosmic law will allow. Now, I focus the full power of my attention on my earth vortex, which is pulsating between my feet. I breathe the breath of the Holy Spirit into the center of my earth vortex. It is now expanding and blazing like the sun. I affirm with deep feeling, I am the master of my physical reality. I am the master of my physical reality. I am the master of my physical reality. My earth vortex is now recalibrated to the highest fifth dimensional crystalline frequencies of solar light that cosmic law will allow. The mighty Elohim, the silent watchers, the directors of the elements, my silent watcher, my body elemental, and my I am presence have now recalibrated my 5 elemental vortices to the next level. This has created a tremendous pathway of light through my 4 earthly bodies from head to toe. This dynamic force is quickening the divine alchemy taking place within my physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies as they are transfigured from carbon-based earthly bodies into fifth dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. Every time I focus on my elemental vortices, God's fifth dimensional crystalline solar light will expand through my 4 earthly bodies, raising my energy, vibration, and consciousness to new heights. I accept and know that this activity of light has been God victoriously accomplished. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am that I am. Dear one, be gentle with yourself and allow your I am presence and your body elemental to assimilate the full magnitude of this activation into your earthly bodies at an atomic and subatomic cellular level. Feeling this activity of light God victoriously accomplished in perfect alignment with your divine plan and your highest good. Breathe in deeply now and gently return your consciousness to the room. Be aware of your earthly bodies. Inhale, exhale, and when you're ready, you may open your eyes.
We have a meditation that will return us to a pure and pristine earth. We're going back to when the earth was first created, so that once again we can create new earth. Here's music by Susan Alexander, who matches the frequencies of DNA and the planets in this song as we remember the creation of earth, as we create new earth. Like the rhythms of nature, so move the rhythms of life itself. Feel this sound of nature. It is connection to the universe. Allow it to cleanse you of all worries, doubts, fears, anything that keeps you from happiness and pure joy. As we too are 80% water, we know water is conscious, it holds memory, and it can be reprogrammed. Keep focusing on your breath, noticing the sensations of your breath at the nostrils. This is your anchor. It will help quiet your mind and allow you to drop down into your heart chamber. This is also the voice of nature, the Mother Earth, all that is. It is also your voice, your truth. So listen. Does it hold any message for you? Now the storm has passed. A beautiful rainbow appears. And as the color of the rainbow matches each one of your 7 chakras, you will now connect your chakras to the chakras of Earth, Gaia. Her dolphins and whales are here with us as we connect to the chakras of Gaia. Starting with the root chakra, red. Yours ties to the Earth's red chakra. Orange. Your orange chakra ties to the orange chakra of Earth. The same with yellow, tying to the yellow chakra of Earth. green, the heart chakra, ties to the heart chakra of Earth. Blue, like aquamarine, from your throat chakra to the blue chakra of Mother Earth. Indigo, from your third eye to the third eye of Mother Earth. And finally, violet, a violet beam from your crown to the crown of Earth. You and Gaia are one. You are connected. You are made of the same elements. The whales and dolphins are here. Listen to their songs, for the whales are the record keepers of Earth, and the dolphins are record keepers of humans. We are journeying back now, back out of time, back to Atlantis, back to Lemuria, and beyond. We are journeying to the place where Earth was first created into form for the purpose of love. Now here you are on the purest planet Earth. Pristine and beautiful. Take a moment now to look around you, to feel the ground on your feet, smell the air, feel the plants and the waters of Gaia. Now take a moment to dream your highest dream for this new Earth. What does New Earth look like? What does New Earth feel like? What does New Earth smell like? Take this moment now and dare to dream for the highest good of the planet and all her life. Now follow along with this healing affirmation. Now I close my eyes and see a field of light, and I feel that light and life in every cell of my body, nurturing and healing every cell. And I know that light and life and love is who and what I am now and forever. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better in a healthy and positive way, in an easy and relaxed manner, in its own perfect time, for the highest good of all. I am filled with healing energy. I am healed. I am whole. I am perfect as I am. Dare to dream and affirm the highest, most wonderful life you can imagine. Our thoughts and prayers of today determine our life in the future. So be it, and so it is. Keep this dream, this vision of yours in mind, for it is possible to create a world that works for all. An unconditional love, peace, joy, and happiness prevail. This is the great work ahead of us. Hold this vision, encapsulate it in your mind's eye into a golden sphere that drops down into your sacred heart once again. Earth is pure and flowing in the rhythms of life, as you too are moving with grace, knowing you are supported by nature, Gaia, the universe. Nature is the universe in action. Now send this feeling of bliss, of confidence of creation to anywhere on our beloved earth that needs your love. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God flows through us, heals us, protects us. Wherever we are, God is all that is, and all is well. Nature is the universe in action. Hold your vision and co-create beautiful new earth, Nova Magnificat. Thank you for joining us in this online healing retreat event marathon. We hope you've experienced high vibrations that you can radiate to the rest of the world. We look forward to you experiencing online healing retreats brought to you by acoustichealth.com. Please share this information with the rest of the world. Together, we are creating New Earth as we step in to our mastery. Blessings and namaste. This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.